What's up, guys? My name is Christian.
Carlos.
And Josh.
And this is TRT Boxing. Before we start the video today, I just want to mention a couple of Twitter accounts that I think you should follow if you're a big fan of the sport like we are. There's Ringside Boxing, and there is also Top Rank Boxing. They both bring lots of news and just top stuff. One thing though, Top Rank Boxing has a contest right now for where you can meet Cotto and Pacquiao in Vegas, and every 50 people, they grab one person out of their entire list of Twitter followers and put it on a pool of people, and then they're going to choose the winner on the 7th of November. So check them out, and the links will be on our description, and also follow us and our video.
Today we're going to talk about the Dawson and Glen Johnson fight. This is November 7th. Your thoughts?
With Chad Dawson, everybody knows how he fights. He's a fast fighter, he likes to box, and he has great offense. And his main weakness that everybody, the most obvious thing is his defense isn't that good. He's the type of guy that he uses offense as defense, and he tries to move around a little bit, but he doesn't keep his hands up. And with Glen Johnson, on the other hand, he keeps his hands, he keeps them crossed in front of his face, and he has good defense. He comes in, he's a pressure guy. But he has power, he's got stamina, even though he's an old man. He's 40, that's the new 30 nowadays in boxing. But he's old, but the guy, he went 12 rounds last time, looked great. He's went 12 rounds a bunch of times in his career. He's always looked good. I think he was, 5-1 now, I think, in his 12-round fights. But he's went the distance with tough guys, so he has the stamina, he has power, and he has the determination to win this fight, especially with the anger of thinking he won the last fight. So I think it's going to be a good fight. Both men have something to bring, and it's an all-around good fight.
No predictions?
Alright, prediction right now? Okay. Basically, I think it's going to go the same as the first fight. I think Dawson's going to do a little better, even though the last fight, it was close. They could have gave it to Johnson, could have gave it to Dawson. I had Dawson by a point or two, but this fight, even though Johnson looked great, it's just with his career, he's had his long career. He's not gonna change his style much going into this next fight. Whereas Dawson, he's young, and he has a lot to. His mind is still fresh. He can change, he can adapt, and he went against Tarver, he beat him, and he beat him worse. Goes against Johnson, he beat him, and he's going to come into this fight, and I think he's going to do better, work on the things he made mistakes in, and he's not going to get hurt like he did in the last fight. So I predict Dawson by UD.
I think the rematch it's also going to be a lot very similar to the first one, but there's a problem where if Chad Dawson comes in too confident into this fight, it might be something like maybe Paul Williams Quintana, the second one, where Quintana just completely outboxed Paul Williams in the first fight. Then in the second one, he just gets dropped by the stronger guy. It could definitely happen like that because I can see Chad Dawson going in there way too confident and just getting dropped by Johnson. The other thing I was thinking is Dawson. He needs to. I'm hoping in this fight he picks up his hands a little more. The last fight, I just kept on seeing he would drop his hands at the worst times, and it's not something where he does it and then stays away, kind of like a Roy Jones style, stays away and jabs or something. No, he drops his hands fighting inside, so then gets hit with that left from Johnson, and pretty much anything that Johnson throws at him. And there's several times in the fight where you see him get multiple times in the same place, and the guy just doesn't put his hands up. But definitely the speed again is going to be a factor in the fight. Expect Johnson to do something different in this fight. Maybe move a little faster. Maybe be a little more on the offense side. He already has pretty good defense. He's up there all the time, but expect him to move a little more. I still think Dawson will outbox him. Will stay away from him and at the right times and take a UD. He might get in trouble every now and then, but I still think he'll take a
UD. I do almost have the exact same thing as these guys. I do see happening the same thing. Just how Chad Dawson did to the Tarver. The first fight, like Tarver thought he won it. In my opinion, he didn't. And in the second fight, he obviously got beat up even worse. So even the scorecard, the score of the scorecards where the margin of points was way wider than the first fight, and that's exactly how I see it happening in this next fight. Because although Jonestown has had like two fights after the Dawson fight, and he's had consecutive good fights. Those two fights were pretty good, and just considering that he's still pissed off that he thought he won that fight, and he might try to come back and try to knock out Dawson, because that's pretty much the only way he can beat Dawson. But other than that, I just see another decision for Dawson.
The main factors in this fight are going to be Dawson's defense and if he's improved it. Because if he can stay away from the big right hand from Johnson, then he'll be good there. And he needs to lay more of those combinations down. When he was throwing his combinations, Johnson would just sit back and take them, and he would stop, and that's when Johnson would get inside and start hitting him. Those are going to be the biggest factors in the fight. But I think both fighters are going to come prepared. I just think Johnson, with his youth, he's going to be able to. He has his stamina there, but he knows he has a good stamina, and he's just going to be able to keep that up, keep his boxing up. He's going to take the decision. That's all we got for this fight. Thank you guys.
Thank you.